For a long time, a reporter has been searching for one major news story. Suddenly, she receives a call from a terrifying serial criminal who demands an exclusive interview. But this is not just an interview. A human life is connected to it. Life and death are both at stake. In this intense confrontation, who will gain the upper hand? Will the serial criminal be able to give logical answers to the reporter's realistic questions? And why does he want to give the interview to her alone? Today we are talking about the South Korean thriller movie Murderer Report, released in 2025. This film is packed with non-stop tension and several twists that you are sure to enjoy. So hello friends, welcome to our story. At the beginning of the story, we are introduced to a female reporter named Sunju. Sunju is on her way to a hotel with her boyfriend, Han Sang. While driving, she hears a news update on the car radio saying that there will be heavy rain in the afternoon. Sunju tells Han Sang that Irene went out without taking an umbrella. Irene is Sunju's daughter. Han Sang replies that Irene is grown up now and can handle any situation. However, Sunju says that Irene has not been well lately. She talks very little and always seems distracted. Because of her concern, Sunju checked Irene's bag and found a razor blade inside. She is deeply worried about her daughter. Han Sang says it's okay and that he will try to talk to her. Sunju explains that Irene likes Han Sang even more than she likes her, so if Han Sang talks to her, Irene might share something with him. Han Sang then asks why Sunju is thinking about Irene right now. He asks if she is not afraid of the task she is about to do. In fact, a serial criminal has called Sunju and asked her to take his personal interview. Sunju is heading to a hotel to meet that criminal. Han Sang says that she mentioned the criminal claimed to have ended the lives of 11 people. He asks if she is not afraid at all. Sunju replies that she is not afraid of him. She is afraid that he might be playing a prank on her. Han Sang says that it must be a prank and that there is still time. He says he will contact headquarters and have the person arrested to verify whether he is telling the truth or not. Han Sang works in the police department. Sunju then says that if what the man said is true, Han Sang can understand what is about to happen. Her company has never allowed her to cover such a big story before. She is tired of covering small and unimportant news all the time. Han Sang says he understands. If the man is telling the truth, this could become a major exclusive story. But there is no confirmation about the 11 cases he mentioned. Sunju then plays the recorded call from the criminal. In the recording, the man says that he has planned to end someone's life. If Sunju takes his interview, he will give her a chance to save that hostage. Sunju says she is not just taking a chance, she is trying to save a human life. After that, Sunju asks Han Sang to drop her off there because she thinks the criminal might be tracking her. Han Sang drops her off in the middle of the road. Before leaving, Sunju gives Han Sang a small device so they can stay in contact. When Sunju arrives at the hotel, she finds out that room number 2701 has been booked under her name. At the reception, she learns that all the hotel's CCTV cameras are being replaced, meaning the cameras will be turned off for a few hours. This makes Sunju nervous. Before entering the room, she makes a duplicate key and sends it to Han Sang. She then notices that the criminal has booked a very expensive room for her. Sunju enters the room and secretly sets up hidden cameras. Meanwhile, Han Sang checks into the room directly below hers, room number 2601. As soon as he enters, he asks Sunju to turn on the spy cameras. Sunju turns on 3 spy cameras. Han Sang tells her one last time that it is not too late and that she can still change her mind. But Sunju gathers her courage and says she can do it. After some time, the doorbell rings. Sunju realizes that the criminal has arrived. When she opens the door, she sees a middle-aged man. Sunju asks if he is the one who called her. The man replies that he is. Sunju carefully observes him and asks if he really ended the lives of 11 people. The man responds sarcastically, asking if it is hard to imagine him as a serial criminal. Sunju says no, she actually imagines someone just like him. She explains that after so many crimes, he left behind no evidence. He never appeared on CCTV footage, and not even a single strand of hair was found at any crime scene. Someone who acts so precisely would know how to manage himself well. She then warns him that if this is a prank, he should say it now, because she does not want to waste her time on false statements. The man smiles and shows Sunju several videos on his phone. One by one, Sunju watches the videos and sees that the man has brutally harmed several people in different ways. From the videos, Han Sang realizes that the man is not lying. Once Sunju is convinced, she begins the interview. Her first question is about the criminal's identity, but he says that revealing his identity is not important. Han Sang then speaks through the microphone, saying that they already have his face and do not need his identity, and that Sanju should focus on the main task. Sanju again asks if it is true that he ended the lives of 11 people within 2 years. The criminal admits it on record. Sanju asks why he is giving this interview. The criminal replies that he wants to evaluate himself and see whether his actions can be justified. Sanju says that all the people he targeted had criminal records. The man replies that she is mistaken. He did not do these acts for social reform. For him, it was a simple form of therapy. He then reveals that he is a psychiatrist. After hearing this, Sanju is completely shocked. Why would a doctor commit so many crimes? The doctor begins to explain by giving examples, saying that the people he targeted were, everyone is a disease for society. That's why I removed those tumors that only make the wounds grow worse. This is how I treat my patients. Sanju asks, what do you mean by that? The people who are responsible for harming your patient's mental health? Are you the one who ends them, doctor? The doctor replies, exactly. Sanju then asks, so why do you want to expose yourself like this? The doctor responds, let me ask you the same question. Why did you take the risk and come here for this interview? Sanju says, this is my job. I have to do it. Besides, you promised to ensure my safety. The doctor asks, do you have confidence in yourself? Sanju replies, yes, I do. The doctor then says, that's exactly why I selected you for this interview. You are extremely dedicated to your work. No one else except you could conduct this interview. And for you, this is a huge opportunity. Sanju says, I didn't come here for any opportunity. I came here because you threatened someone's life to force me. I came here to save that person. I will not continue this interview unless their identity and safety are guaranteed. The doctor smiles and says, I don't want to reveal their identity. Sanju immediately tries to stop the interview and leave. Hamsang tells Sanju to leave the room right now and prepares his weapon. At that moment, the doctor says to Sanju, if you leave, my hostage will lose their life immediately. Sanju asks, do you have any other accomplices? The doctor smiles lightly and says, what did you think? That I was alone? I promise you, once the interview is over, I will tell you who my hostage is, where they are, and I will even give you a chance to save them. Hamsang keeps speaking through the microphone, telling Sanju not to trust a single word. He is a dangerous man, he warns. But Sanju asks, can I trust you? The doctor replies, of course. Sanju prepares to continue the interview. He then asks, what was your motive behind harming those people? The doctor begins telling the story of a woman. He says she was living a normal life. Shortly after getting married, she became pregnant and believed the rest of her life would be happy. But one day, a man assaulted her while she was pregnant. After some time, she gave birth, but the terrifying memory never left her. She began to see the image of that monster in her child and believed she had given birth to the attacker's child. One day, she jumped from a balcony with her child and ended her life. While hearing this, Sanju notices tears in the doctor's eyes. He asks, she was your wife, wasn't she? The doctor replies, your guess is absolutely correct. After my wife's death, that offender was sentenced to only 4 years in prison. A desire for revenge awakened inside me. During those 4 years, I prepared myself. I researched human anatomy extensively and worked on keeping myself physically fit. Then the long-awaited moment arrived. I waited outside the prison to confront him. But destiny had planned something else. The day before his release, he died due to an accident. Years of preparation ended in a single moment. I could no longer find any reason to live. I fell into substance abuse. It felt like I would soon reunite with my family. But suddenly, I was given a second chance. One of my patients came to me for counseling, carrying unbearable pain. His story was similar to mine. He had lost his happy family. A drunk driver caused an accident that took the lives of his wife and child. One day, my patient unexpectedly encountered that driver. He tried many times to take revenge, but failed. I could understand his pain. That's when I asked him if I could do it for him. I told him my entire life story. After hearing everything, he agreed. After hearing this, Sanju says, that's why the police couldn't suspect you, because your patient helped you. The doctor replies, yes. I planned everything carefully and ensured that the man received punishment. Sanju asks, what happened next? Did your therapy treatment work? The doctor replies, it worked perfectly. My patient felt satisfied after seeing the criminal's lifeless body. That moment was the most valuable of my career, seeing my patient smile. Sanju says, So are you saying revenge is the greatest cure? The doctor replies, if I speak about my wife, erasing that horrific memory was nearly impossible for me. All my life I told my patients that everything would be okay. But when something like that happened to me, I realized that not everything gets better. There are many treatments to free someone from unbearable pain, and revenge is one of them. Sanjay says, all right. So from a doctor's point of view, you believe this is justified, right? As a doctor, was this really your responsibility? The doctor then says, as a doctor? The greatest belief is keeping one's patient well. That's why, in my eyes, I did nothing wrong. What are you doing here? If you truly work for public safety, then why didn't you inform the police first? Sanjay replies, because you threatened me. You said that if I didn't take your interview, you would take someone's life. The doctor says, no. You are not taking this interview to save someone's life. You are taking it to create an exclusive news story. Sanjay stays silent for a moment. Then he says, I already told you, I didn't come here for news. The doctor grabs Sanjay's hand and says, look into my eyes and say it. Sanjay repeats, I came here to save someone's life. The doctor checks Sanjay's pulse and says, you're responding under stress. That means you're lying. Just then the doorbell rings. A waiter arrives with lunch for the doctor. The waiter serves the food and then comes to receive a tip. While giving the tip, the doctor mentions the waiter's name. The waiter asks, do you know me? At that moment, the doctor suddenly injects something into the waiter's neck. The waiter collapses immediately and loses his life. Seeing this happen right in front of his eyes, Sanjay is completely shocked. He says, what did you just do? The doctor replies, he abused a woman and recorded it. For 3 years he extorted money from her. This was the issue I wanted to address during the interview. Sanjay says, but you said you would take a life tonight. The doctor responds, I will take another life tonight. You should focus on my next target. Sanjay begins to feel afraid. Watching everything, Hansang realizes they are trapped in a very dangerous situation. Hansang encourages Sanjay to continue the interview. Sanjay asks what the doctor did after the first incident. The doctor says, after that, I started treating patients one by one. I began volunteering at various counseling centers. I searched for people who truly needed my help. Like my first patient, there were many others who were suffering because of someone else. I dealt with those people one by one in different ways. Sanjay asks, did this method work as treatment? The doctor replies, completely. They were all satisfied after seeing the result. The doctor then asks, do you feel guilty? Sanjay says, why would I feel guilty? The doctor replies, look, I fulfilled my duty as a doctor. Sanjay says, absolutely not. Your patients must have felt guilt. The doctor replies, yes, a few of them did. But that was just a side effect of the procedure. I treated those side effects as well. Sanjay asks, how did you do that? The doctor replies, I know hypnosis. Hypnosis is a part of therapeutic treatment. Our subconscious mind carries suppressed desires, identities, and deep emotional conflicts. Hypnosis helps heal those. At that moment, Hansang tells Sanjay, we have confirmed he is a serial offender. I'm coming to your room right now. Hansang moves towards Sanjay's room with a weapon. The doctor then plays his favorite number 24 music track and says, one of my patients loves this music deeply. She lives a very poor life with her grandmother. She plays the violin beautifully. But someone in her class constantly bullied her. For a year, that person harassed my patient. Hansang reaches outside the room and informs Sanjay, but his duplicate key doesn't work. So he tells Sanjay to continue the interview. The doctor says, if someone bullied your daughter every day and destroyed her dreams, what would you do? Sanjay replies, I would punish that person. The doctor says, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. Sanjay says, but the ones who bullied her are still students. They're very young. The doctor replies, later they become monsters. Weren't you curious about what happened to my patient's hand? Her hand had been damaged using a razor blade. At that point, Sanjay begins to feel suspicious, because she had seen a razor blade inside her daughter's bag. Sanjay asks the doctor, was the person who bullied your patient my daughter? The doctor smiles and replies, no. But are you noticing changes in your daughter? The doctor immediately begins hypnotizing Sanjay. He asks what kind of changes she has noticed in her daughter. Completely under hypnosis, Sanjay answers all of the doctor's questions. She says, I feel like she is hiding something from me. The doctor asks, is there any reason behind these changes? Sanjay replies, I got divorced from my husband. And my ex-husband has filed a case for my daughter's custody. His financial condition is much better than mine. So maybe she wanted to stay with her father. After a while, Sunju regains her senses. At that moment, Hansang tells her, he may have figured out our plan. You have to get out of there somehow. Use the tool I gave you. Sunju picks up the pen-like object and moves toward the doctor. She says, tell me, who are you planning to target tonight? The doctor replies, I'll tell you after the interview is over. Sunju says, stop playing with people's lives. The doctor replies, all right. Then I'll inform a detective. I also have an appointment with a detective today. He's downstairs and he'll be here shortly. Hansang tells Sunju, I'm coming upstairs right now. But he finds that his door is locked from the outside. The doctor then calls the room downstairs. When Hansang's phone rings and he answers it, the doctor immediately disconnects the call. He is actually making Sunju understand that he knows everything about their plan. He also knows that Sunju's boyfriend, who is a detective, is in the room downstairs. After a while, Hansang suddenly loses consciousness. In fact, the doctor had already placed a device in Hansang's room. The doctor asks Sunju, are you waiting for your boyfriend, Hansang? At that moment, Sunju sees an opportunity and tries to attack the doctor. But the doctor anticipates it and restrains her instead. He turns the situation around and uses his own tool on Sunju. After some time, Sunju regains consciousness. She realizes that her hands and feet are tied. The doctor says, you lied to me. But I also lied to you. There was another purpose behind this interview. Actually, I wanted to interview you. Think carefully. Have you never made a mistake in your life? Sunju firmly replies, I have lived a good life. I have never harmed anyone. The doctor says, yes, I know. Saying this, he unties Sunju. Then he asks again, was there truly no fault in your life? After thinking for a moment, Sunju says, are you talking about the Isin group case? The doctor asks, why? What happened with the Isin group? Meanwhile, Hansang regains consciousness and starts struggling violently, trying desperately to free himself. Seeing this, the doctor warns Hansang, any trick from you could put Sunju's life in danger. If you don't want her harmed, stay quiet. Then the doctor asks Sunju to tell the story of the Isin group. Sunju explains, a year ago, a man named Min called me. He was the team head of the Isin group. He wanted to expose his company. Nearly 10 years ago, due to mismanagement by the Isin group, toxic substances were released into a river. The company covered it up by bribing prosecutors and politicians. As a result, the cancer rate among children in that area kept increasing. Min wanted to take action, which is why he contacted me. I started my investigation and collected a lot of evidence against them. But before I could go to the press, everything in my house was stolen. That same night, Min died in a car accident. I know the Isin group was responsible for his death. After that, someone called my news agency and claimed that I was responsible for the disappearance of the evidence. Because of this, I was demoted at my workplace. The doctor asks, so you're saying you're innocent? Sunju replies, yes. The doctor says, then swear on your daughter that you're innocent. Angrily, Sunju replies, keep my daughter out of this. I am innocent. The doctor says, yes, I know. Because I was the one who made that call to your news agency. Sunju asks, why did you do that? The doctor replies, to bring you here. If you hadn't been demoted, would you have been this desperate for a big story? I didn't bring you here to harm you. I brought you here to treat you. Sunju is shocked. The doctor notices that Hansang is still trying to escape. Sunju says, Hansang has no fault in this. I planned everything on my own. I love him. That's why he tried to help me. He has no responsibility in any of this. The doctor then asks Sunju, then why doesn't he free himself? Then why is he still trying so desperately to free himself? I clearly warned him that if he did that, your life could be put in danger. If he truly loved you, he would never have allowed your life to be at risk. He never truly loved you. And the way he is struggling now is not to save you, it is to save himself. Because it was Hansang who stole the evidence from your house that day. Sunju says, how is that possible? He could never do something like this. The doctor asks, who knew about your investigation into the Isin group? Only Hansang. Sunju says, that's impossible. He has always worked as an honest police officer. The doctor replies, yes, he was once an honest detective. But then the Isin group sent a woman to trap him. They took photos of him in a compromising situation and pictures of him using illegal substances. Using those images, they began blackmailing him. They offered him large amounts of money and promotions. They started using Han Sang like a controlled puppet. And through him, all the evidence you gathered against the Isin group was stolen from your house. Sunju responds, but your story doesn't add up. Han Sang never got any promotion. The doctor replies, the Isin group knew everything about Han Sang's corruption. Instead of rewarding him, they used that information to silence him. But that wasn't the end of the story. There was also a witness. Before you hear about that witness, you need to stay strong and listen to my next story. Han Sang thought your house would be empty. So he entered and staged everything to look like a burglary. But while taking the evidence, Irene saw him. To silence her, he crossed a horrific line. Hearing this, Sunju screams, please stop. This is impossible. Irene sees Han Sang like her own father. The doctor says, Han Sang knew that no matter what happened, Irene would never choose to live with her father, because she loves her mother deeply. That is why he dared to do something so unforgivable. He knew that if this incident came to light, Irene's custody would go to her father. So Irene was forced to stay silent. Sunju says, this is all lies. I don't believe you. The doctor replies, you saw the razor blade in Irene's bag, didn't you? If you don't believe me, ask Irene yourself. The doctor calls Irene from Sunju's phone. Hearing her mother's voice, Irene immediately realizes something is wrong. Sunju asks, did something bad happen to you? Irene replies, Mom, are you with the doctor? I wanted to tell you everything before. Please forgive me. Sunju breaks down in tears. She cannot forgive herself. As a mother, she feels she has failed. The doctor asks, what do you want to do now? Sunju replies, I want to talk to him face to face. The doctor allows it. Sunju goes downstairs to confront Han Sang directly. She asks him, did you really touch my daughter in a way no one ever should? Han Sang responds, what are you saying? How can you even say such words? Enraged, Sunju pulls out her gun. Han Sang says, he hypnotized you. Have you forgotten that? Sunju replies, then was Irene lying too? Han Sang says, it's possible he hypnotized Irene as well. Sunju says, you abused my daughter. Han Sang snatches the gun from her and says, it was a mistake. Furious, Sunju attacks Han Sang. But Han Sang violently strikes her again and again. Then the doctor enters the room to confront Han Sang. Han Sang tries to shoot the doctor, but realizes there are no bullets in the gun. In fact, the doctor had intentionally given Sunju an empty weapon. Taking advantage of the moment, Sunju uses an electric shock device on Han Sang. He immediately loses consciousness. Sunju is terrified. The doctor says, I'll handle things here. Go to Irene. Hug her once. Sunju returns home and cries uncontrollably. After some time, Han Sang regains consciousness. Seeing the doctor in front of him, he becomes terrified. The doctor says, now I want to see the same pain in you. The same fear that was in Irene's eyes when you committed that unforgivable act. Saying this, the doctor ends Han Sang's life and takes revenge for Irene. A few days later, Irene comes to the doctor for counseling. She says she is doing better now. She sleeps peacefully at night. Those terrifying nightmares no longer haunt her. Hearing this, the doctor feels relieved. Later, the doctor speaks with Sunju. He asks whether she truly doesn't need treatment. He warns that guilt can slowly consume a person. Sunju replies, I don't want treatment. I want to feel this guilt. Then she asks, but are you okay? Your hands carry the marks of so many lives. How will you ever wash those stains away? The doctor has no answer. As Sunju leaves, the doctor stares at his hands. He feels remorse, yet believes that to clean the filth of society, he must do this again. This is where the story ends. So friends, this was today's story. Let me know how you liked it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you in the next story. Till then, keep loving. Bye.